Hey guys, so I have day 3 to share with you all and some other things. um, First thing is, I don't have my bag for day 3 of the Hoppy Easter because I made it into a bunny rabbit. All the Hoppy Easter bags are stamped with the face of the rabbit on it, and on day 1, I think it was, they did a Magnolia's channel did a example of how to make the bag into a rabbit. And what you do is you take the bag, which has the face stamped on it, and you fold it. Well, I didn't crease it. I just folded it like this. And then you take your scissors and you cut, like, let's just say the face stamp is right here. So you just cut from this corner of the bag, like in a curved line, down to a certain point in the middle of the bag. And then when you open it back up, you have a giant V type of shape cut into it. It's not a straight V, it's a curved one. And you open up the bag, and this one is stuffed with the shreds and some candies, and I'm going to give this to my husband as his Easter basket, because we don't really, go all out for Easter. We don't have kids, so we don't need to really, right? And this is some raffia that was in the kit, in the Hoppy Easter kit, so I just used that to tie a bow at the top, which is what they showed. So you, instead of like creasing this, you kind of gather the ears together, and then you tie the raffia around, and it's not tied really tight, so there is some, room in there. So that's what I did to the day 3 bag. Now let's get on to it. I actually stamped out what was in day 3 of both the calendars. So here is the Tilda stamp that you get. It's Tilda holding an ice cream, and she's wearing a little hat too that has a rose in it. Not my favorite because she's barefooted, so I'm not really sure that I like this stamp so much with the bare feet, because I have a thing with that. And then you get an ice cream cone with 3 scoops die that goes with her stamp. And then the vintage Easter bag, day 3, had 2 stamps in it that look like this, and all I've done is taken, I don't use cling mount because I don't like to cut it. It hurts my hands, and you really don't need it for rubber stamps, but I use the Tombow Monomulti to put a layer of the glue on the back and just let it dry thoroughly, and then once it's dry you can use it as a cling, and you can repeatedly take it off and put it on your blocks without it being a bother. And if it starts to come off and not be sticky, you just do it again. Put more glue on the back and let it dry. So this is the 2, and I know I didn't stamp this well. This cardstock is not good cardstock, by the way, and I used Vintage Photo because it was lying around to stamp it out. So it's a button card, a vintage button card, and it says, as you like it, trouser buttons, and then it's got a whole bunch of buttons in there, and then it's got this border stamp of buttons. So it appears that it is a sewing theme for the vintage bags or vintage calendar. Okay, so that's my share for the Easter calendars, and then I have a card share which I want to share with you because I'm going to send it out to somebody. So this is a card that I've made with some Desert Storm, Nina Desert Storm craft paper, and I showed you this, I think I showed you this cutout, maybe I didn't, but this is the color of the paper. It's craft color, and it's a pretty smooth texture, and so I colored it with my colored pencils that I have from Unicolor, and it's the 240 limited edition set, but they do have a set now that's like I think it's 100 or something like that. These colors are yellow, forest green, and dark sepia. And when you color with colored pencil on craft cardstock, the color is intensified. And some people think, it's not, well, it's not easy to color with colored pencils, first of all, to get the shading, because it's not that it's hard, but it takes time. And coloring with Copics is different too because you're layering ink. But you can't color with Copics and get this effect on darker cardstock. It'll look much different if you color this with Copics, right? So when you color with colored pencils on darker cardstock, like black for instance, it pops. The color pops because it doesn't get soaked into the paper. So I colored the die cut from Paper Tray ink for the sunflower, which I showed you a previous card that I made and had cut off the edges. This is the whole die cut that you get. It comes with a frame, and then it cuts the leaves of the flower, the stalk, and then, you know, the petals, and then here's the center where the sunflower seeds would be. So I just colored it with yellow, the green leaves, and then the brown center so that you could see it much better. And then I just put it on a Paper Tray ink Stamper Select card base. And then I added these little metal enamel, these metal dots. They're not enamel. They are metal in this dark brown color to the card because I didn't want to add a sentiment here. I wanted it to kind of be the focal point of the card. And then in the inside, I stamped another Paper Tray ink sentiment to go inside. So this is a thank you card I'm going to be sending out to someone who has gifted me a stamp, and I'll show you the stamp. So this is a free stamp that I got from somebody in the Paper Tray ink group. She said she had gotten this out of a D-stash. It was a double that she already had. I'm assuming she was buying something else out of the set. And so this is like hearts. And I didn't have this set, but it also has a accompanying die. And I didn't even realize she was sending me a die too. So here's the set if you need to see it stamped out, but it's much bigger than the image. So this is the free stamp set, and so I'm going to send her a thank you card. This is the sentiment stamp that I use on the inside, Graceful Greetings, and it's the thanks right here. Obviously much bigger than it's pictured, so I just stamped that out in VersaFine brown. So that is my card share, and I hope everybody has a good day. Bye for now.